Basically what Patent Inspiration is doing is taking all of the world's patents and patent applications, so every week the database gets updated from the various patent agencies, patent offices of the world, and allows you to do various searches of what is on that database. So I thought I'd just pick out one or two of those things. So I can, for example, I can go and scrape and analyse patents, and I can identify what problems are the inventors working. So this is a particular example from beverages that was in the paper that we put together. And what you can start to do with this is, in this particular case, you can work out what the inventor is trying to increase, what they're trying to decrease. And then you can start to match this with the frustrations of the customer. Okay. Is the industry working on the problems the customer is expressing frustration about? If they're not, then that's a good indication of here's a patent that's not going to be useful to me. Okay. But we're using this semantic search of the problem as a way of helping us to connect the customer's real problem with somebody who's actually done something about this problem. And if we're running the software live here, what we could do is we could go hyperlink on those things that are relevant. If we know that the customer's frustrated about aftertaste, for example, or taste, then we click on taste and we go and find all those people that have already been working on the taste problem for us. Okay. Shortcuts towards somebody who's done some hard work for me, in other words. Same idea with the contradiction tool. What Patent Inspiration will do these days is effectively build me a live contradiction matrix. So I identify some parameters that I'm interested in, and it will then go and identify patents where somebody's tackled the contradiction between pairs of those parameters. And again, it's intended to give me a shortcut that says once you've identified that this contradiction is important, I can click on the relevant box here and go and find, again, somebody who's done some hard work for me in terms of solving that problem. Connecting the right problem with the right solutions, in other words. So there's lots of screenshots in the paper. This one here is just thinking about how I can configure the search. I can put all sorts of constraints on how I search the domain for my solutions. If I'm interested in, for example, a certain size range, I can do that. If I'm interested in a certain industry, I can restrict to an industry. I can effectively build a live function database these days using the tool. So I know I'm interested in moving a liquid, for example, then it will effectively analyse the patent database of the world and give me today's version of the function database. So in effect, it's constantly updated. It's an interactive database. Those of you familiar with the evolution potential idea that we spent an awful lot of our time worried about, then what Patent Inspiration will also do for you is draw an automated set of evolution potential diagrams. So, for example, if I'm analysing 100 or 1,000 or however many patents, I want to know how mature, for example, an industry sector is. So how mature is the beverage sector? I can take a body of patents, I can analyse them all, compare them to each of the trends of evolution, which is what each of these spokes is all about, and I can produce a composite plot that effectively says, and here's how mature this industry is. So if I was looking to innovate inside the industry, all these trend jumps that haven't been made are my blue ocean territory for going to find something that nobody's done before. And again, the whole philosophy behind this is start from what the world knows, such that you're very quickly able to build on that and find your solution. Because obviously if you're looking for your own patentable solution, you want to be able to go beyond what's already out there. Again, those of you, I certainly recommend you go and play with the software. It allows you to do all sorts of clever things and look at the world through different lenses. Back to what Ed Sikovas was talking about, fill your brain with relevant stuff. Think of each of the tools in Patent Inspiration as a different lens through which to look at the world. So in this case, for example, we're looking at, for example, who's interested in taste? Which industries have to think about taste? And if there's one that's not in my own industry, for example, does that give me inspiration to go and look at how they solved the taste problem? So if I'm thinking about, for example, aftertaste with stevia, then perhaps I should go to the cigarette industry to see how they worry about the aftertaste problem and bring their solution back to my domain. Latest tool, there seems to be all sorts of different ways of plotting things, but trying to build a metaphor in many ways of how close to my own domain do I want to go and look for a solution. So the idea of a geographic map of the world, for example, this is again aftertaste, and if I'm looking to, if this is my own industry, I'm looking to think about something that's close to me, I don't want to offend my domain experts inside the company, for example, then I perhaps stay on my own island. But if I've got the freedom to go and look at distant land, then I can go and look at how other industries, in some cases completely different other industries, go and tackle the problem. That's pretty much it.